dear sister, aunt, great aunt, cousin, friend. Our father once said, little Mary, she was the best of the lot of you. Over the years, I've learned to appreciate more and more the wisdom and intelligence and candor of my father. So I asked myself, what made her the best? So I asked myself, what did make her the best? I thought back for a while to the early days. The early days when we would take that short walk back from Madeline School to the long walk. After you take Click-a-Tat, you have this long block where you'd walk back. And sometimes at the end of that block, in front of our own home, would be little Mary. And little Mary would turn and catch my eye, and I would catch hers, and she would begin running and running towards me, and then give me the biggest hug, and then simply walk next to me and accompany me back home. So maybe my dad was referring to her strength, watchful eye, and endurance. Maybe that's what made her the best. When Mary was a little older, and the siblings were very small, and the other siblings were, a little bit older, Mary would see maybe that they were in a minor dispute. And when she saw that dispute, she would attempt to intervene and be a peacemaker. And so maybe the quality of a peacemaker was what my father was talking about that made her the best. Whether at a melodrama at Pixieland at Lincoln City or at a movie drama, Mary would cut no quarter for the villain, and she would step in and in a loud voice say, "Leave her alone." And so maybe what it was Mary's clear knowledge of right and wrong and her righteous character that my dad figured she was the best. When I once told Mary my wife Jane was sick, Mary turned quickly to me and said, "Peter, you take care of her." So maybe what it was Mary's compassion and Mary's supportive nature that was what made her the best. Little Mary knew all of our birthdays, and we would go to her almost as an encyclopedic resource for that information. So maybe it was Mary's sense of family and her knowledge of family history that made her the best. No matter if any one of my brothers or sisters or others would be nearby Mary would very much spout out, "He's my brother," or "She's my sister." So maybe it was what was the best in Mary and what made her the best was that pride in her family and in her brothers and sisters and others. Mary had a great smile and a wonderful laugh, and she would bring joy to everybody just to see her smile or to laugh. So maybe it was that smile, that sense of humor, that joy that she brought to everyone that made her the best. So those things truly were things that I think perhaps my father was thinking about. Whenever my brothers or sisters visited Mary, or anybody visited Mary, she showed them a full love and caring. And so Mary, perhaps, was the one who would give that love out. And it was unconditional love. So Mary, in my thoughts, my father was really talking about the fact that Mary had unconditional love for her brothers, her sisters, her cousins, her friends, everyone. And that unconditional love for all of us. And it was that unconditional love that we with all our hearts will miss most in my little sister, Mary.